I accidentally became the other woman, and it ended with me falling naked at his girlfriend's feet. This whole nightmare started innocently enough. I'm 23, and I matched with a guy on a dating app. We'll call him Ryan. He was 26, funny, a little flirty, but nothing over the top. We talked for a few days, the vibe was good, and when he invited me over, I barely hesitated. His place was clean, it smelled good, and there were absolutely zero red flags. Or so I thought. We were talking, laughing, and one thing led to another. Soon enough, we were in his bedroom. And you have to understand, at this point, I was completely, 100% under the impression that this man was single. Nothing about his apartment, his phone, or his behavior screamed otherwise. We were just tangled up in the sheets, talking nonsense, half under the blanket. It was easy. It was normal. And then I heard it. A sound that changes everything. Not a knock. Not a text message announcing a visitor. Just the distinct, metallic sound of keys turning in the lock of the front door. My stomach dropped into my shoes. I looked at him, my heart starting to pound in my ears. "Are you expecting someone?" The color drained from his face. He looked like he'd just seen a ghost. He stammered, his eyes wide with panic. Wait for what?" Before I could even begin to process what that single, terrifying word meant, a woman walked into the bedroom. She just appeared in the doorway. And she stopped cold. Her eyes landed on him, then on me. The entire universe seemed to freeze in that one awful moment. I'm sitting there, barely covered by a thin blanket. He looks like he's about to evaporate into thin air. And she just stands there, staring, before her voice, dangerously calm, cuts through the silence. "Who is this?" Pure, unadulterated panic took over my body. My only thought was escape. I had to get out. I started scrambling to get up, grabbing the bedsheet and trying to wrap it around myself like some kind of emergency toga. I just needed to get my clothes and vanish. But he starts talking, making everything a million times worse. He's saying both our names, as if a formal introduction is going to fix this. "Babe, wait, I can explain." Babe. The word hit me like a physical blow. BABE. Well, that was certainly news to me. My brain was screaming at me to move faster. I was trying to get off the bed, but in my frantic rush, my foot got completely tangled in the very sheet I was using for cover. Instead of making a swift, dignified exit, my feet went out from under me. I was airborne for a split second before I fell, face first, completely and totally naked, onto the floor right in front of her. Dead silence. The only sound in the room was the echo of my own body hitting the hardwood. I have never, in my entire life, wished for the ground to open up and swallow me whole more than I did in that moment. I just lay there, stunned, humiliated beyond words. And then, the most unbelievable thing happened. The girl, his girlfriend, stares down at me on the floor for a second. And then she asks, with genuine concern in her voice, "Are you okay?" Somehow, her kindness made it so much worse. "Why are you being nice to me?" She literally bent down and helped me up. I couldn't even look her in the eye. I was clutching that sheet to my chest for dear life, my entire body burning with shame. And here's where the story takes a turn from just a nightmare into pure absurdity. While his girlfriend is helping me, the naked stranger on her floor, to my feet, he's still in the background, sputtering the most classic, most insulting line in the cheater's handbook. "It's not what it looks like. Are you insane?" It is exactly what it looks like. It is the textbook definition of what it looks like. I just kept repeating, like a broken record, "I didn't know. I didn't know, I swear, I didn't know." I was talking to her, pleading with her, hoping she'd see that I wasn't a monster, just a fool. And she just nodded, this quiet, sad understanding on her face. It was so clear she believed me more than she believed him. And honestly, fair enough. My coordination had completely abandoned me. I was a mess of flailing limbs and tangled sheets. I grabbed my clothes as fast as I possibly could, not even bothering to put them on properly. My body went into pure survival mode. Get out now. I stumbled out of that room, out of that apartment, and didn't stop until I was safely in my car, heart still hammering against my ribs. Later that night, my phone buzzed. It was him. A whole paragraph of pathetic apologies and flimsy excuses. I didn't even read the whole thing. I just pressed block. Immediately. But the memory is burned into my brain. Every now and then, when I'm just trying to live my life, the image flashes back into my mind. The feeling of my foot catching, the air rushing past my ears, and the sound of my body hitting the floor. I can still feel my soul leaving my body all over again. And just to add one last perfect, excruciating detail to the whole disaster, I realized the next day that I left one of my favorite earrings there. On his nightstand. I guess it's his girlfriend's now. A little souvenir from the most mortifying night of my life. This story is infuriating because of the guy's casual betrayal, but the most unforgettable part is the girlfriend's reaction. In a moment where she had every right to scream, to rage, to lose her mind, she showed a stranger on her floor a moment of grace. She saw the real enemy wasn't the naked, panicked girl tangled in her sheets, but the man standing by the bed offering up pathetic lies. She focused on the person who was clearly in distress, not the one who had caused all the pain. So here is the question I can't stop thinking about. If you walked into your bedroom and found this exact scene, what would you have done? Could you have shown that same calm compassion, or would your anger have taken over completely?